Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will talk about the top 10 abandoned cities in the world. These abandoned cities are huge. For this list, we'll be looking at ghost towns, villages, cities, and slash or other similar places where humans have settled from around the world that have had their populations vanish. Our countdown includes Larnaca Cyprus, Bodhi California, Krakow, Italy, and more. 1. Kayaki Turkey. Dating back many centuries, and known by several names during that time, this city has had a tumultuous political history. Prior to the end of World War I and the fall of the Ottoman Empire, Kayaki's population numbered between 6,500 and 20,000 people. As a predominantly Greek village residing within the borders of Turkey, the citizens were forced to leave their homes as a safety measure following Greece's loss in the Greco-Turkish War. 350 of these once populated dwellings are now completely vacant and remain under Turkish jurisdiction. While they are still intact, they have been weathered and damaged by time. 2. Colemanskop Namibia. In 1908, German workers laying a railroad line found a diamond in Colemanskop, and this kicked off an influx of miners from areas within the German Empire. The diamonds mined brought enormous wealth, and the miners recreated a German town in Colemanskop, complete with a hospital, power station, school, theater, sports facility, and an ice factory. Colemanskop had the first tram and the first X-ray machine in the Southern Hemisphere. However, following World War II, the diamond fields started to deplete, and by 1956, Colemanskop was a ghost town. Sand started invading the houses, making Colemanskop a popular destination for photographers. In 2010, the town was featured in an episode of the television series Life After People, which showed the effects of wind and sand on the town. 3. Krakow, Italy. This Italian village dates all the way back to medieval times, but sadly, it didn't manage to make it out of the 20th century. At the southeastern end of Italy sits the hill town of Krakow, which dates back to the 8th century BCE. The town got its name in 1060 CE when it belonged to the Catholic Church. By 1276, it belonged to Museo Sforza, a member of Italy's famous Sforza family, and by 1561, Krakow's population had swelled to over 2,500 inhabitants. Just 5 years later in 1566, the plague struck, reducing the number of Krakow's residents, and in 1861, following the unification of Italy, Krakow was beset by brigands. Between 1892 and 1922, over 1,300 residents of Krakow emigrated to North America. In 1963, the centuries of digging to create buildings, sewers, and water systems caused a series of landslides. 4. Orador France. This French village has a painful history. The small farm town was needlessly decimated with explosives during World War II in 1944 by Nazi Party SS troops. In total, 642 innocent people were mercilessly killed in the attack, and what remained of the destroyed city stays in ruins to the present day. Although a new village was built in a location, this site serves as a memorial for those who lost their lives and as a heartbreaking reminder of the atrocities that took place during the war. Each year in Orador, a ceremony is held to commemorate the horrific tragedy. 5. Hashima Island, Japan. Off of the coastline of Nagasaki lies this formerly inhabited area. Also known as Battleship Island, due to the shape of the land from above, this city was a center for undersea coal mining. This 16 acres, 6.3 hectares, island lies 9 miles, 15 kilometers, east of the city of Nagasaki in southern Japan. Hashima Island was established in 1887 to support the mining of undersea coal, and it reached a peak population of 5,259 in 1959. Structures that were built on the island included apartment blocks, schools, a hospital, a town hall, movie houses, stores, and a swimming pool. However, by 1974, the coal reserves were depleted, and the residents of Hashima Island left. The island was completely abandoned for the next 3 decades, but by the 2000s, interest in the island was growing, and it was open to tourists in April 2009. 6. Bodhi, California. If we've learned anything from this list so far, it's that former mining towns don't seem to have a spectacular shelf life. And this old city is no exception. In 1859, discovery of gold in the region created interest in the area and prospectors started conking. About 16 years later, Bodhi was officially a boomtown. But not long after, the companies that funded the town's mining endeavors went bankrupt. This and a series of fires prompted people to leave, and Bodhi was a ghost town by the mid-1940s. Today, this Wild West city is a United States National Historic Landmark and a state park. 7. Prat Ukraine. The most infamous nuclear power incident in history, the Chernobyl disaster, led to the abandonment of this neighboring city. Residents of Pripyat were primarily employees of the power plant, and the city had a population of around 49,000 in its heyday. But when the reactor exploded in 1986, the families living in its vicinity had to evacuate from the toxic area. While no humans have attempted to re-inhabit the city, wildlife has begun to spread in the wake of the incident. Plants and animals returned and flourished despite the high radiation levels of the area. 8. Cilia, Pennsylvania. This once residential mining town now has the smallest population in the entire state of Pennsylvania. Only 5 people remained in 2020. In 1962, a coal seam fire began to burn underneath the city, spreading through tunnels beneath its streets. The effects of the smoke ranged from serious health complications to warped buildings and sinkholes. After it was clear that this problem was not going to resolve itself, the government paid to relocate the residents of the city to safety. The fire still rages on to this day, and the area has stayed empty. 9. Pyramidan Norway. In the Norwegian Arctic lies what was once a coal mining city. It was sold by Sweden to the Soviet Union in 1927, and at the time the population mostly consisted of miners from Russia. At the city's peak, there were approximately 1,000 residents of the area and plenty of cultural and social hubs, such as a movie theater, library, a community greenhouse, and more. But after the fall of the USSR in 1991, Pyramidan slowly dissipated. It became officially barren in 1998, after the final inhabitant left on October 10th of that year. 10. Larnaca, Cyprus. If you had visited this beach town in the early 1970s, you may have had a celebrity sighting. This northern region of Cyprus was once one of the most happening tourist spots in the world. For a time, the town had been increasing infrastructure to support its growing popularity, building and planning new buildings for visitors. Unfortunately, this growth was cut short in 1974. That's when Turkey invaded Cyprus, causing the inhabitants of Larnaca to flee. Since its Turkish occupation, the once bustling tourist destination had become desolate. There have been a few contentious discussions about reopening the region, but no settlements have been made. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.